Hello everybody, this is Jay the Haunter, and today we have to unbox the setup. It's the new for 2023 Party City 12-foot Wendigo. This animatronic, as you can see, has very clearly been opened and used already. That's because this was a store display at a Party City about 2 hours away from me. My local stores were not going to get it, so we made the drive up and grabbed him. This was a store display, and since it was a store display, we got it discounted on top of that coupon. So I want to say we got him about 25-30% off total with all the discounts. Definitely better than his retail price. So we're going to go ahead and get all these pieces laid out. A couple of his pieces over here are assembled already because I cannot get them apart for the life of me. And since it's not pack up for Halloween, I did not bother trying to take him apart. His base does split in half down the middle there. There's a pin at the top and a pin at the bottom. Or I'm sorry, pin at the bottom, pin at the top. And then his shoulders do snap lock into place right there, and that entire frame pops off. Those are already assembled, and I will be telling you when you do need to put those on, but for the sake of the parts list, they will be already attached. Before we get into the parts list, I figured you guys would want to see a little bit of the box since nobody has this just yet. My Party City only got one of this guy, so we did have to take the store display. We did not have a choice. I don't really mind because we got those sweet discounts on it. There's the side of his box there. Over here, there's his price tag there. Again, thankfully did not pay that. Get all the way around. And then that side there. There that is. Box has been taped up quite a bit because it looks like it has split apart already down there, but they had it taped up and ready to go for us over there. So now we're gonna get to his parts list with all of the pieces laid out. Here is everything that he comes with. You have his two hands left and right. These two smaller straight poles, these two longer curved poles which are labeled differently. His sealed control box, because he is outdoor rated. His hip hoop, several different pieces of cloth. There's this fuzzy part. There's these pieces that I presume are going to fill out his legs. His shirt with the rope and all the grainy vine stuff. His pants with the sensor hole. Then you have his base, which is normally two pieces. As I stated previously, I did get this already set up and used from my Party City that was a couple hours away, and I could not get it to split in half down the middle, but it does, when you buy it new, come in two pieces. This hunch here, it almost looks like a spine, which I presume is his spine. Here, his two arms left and right, his two very long pieces of leg foam, his head, his two antlers, and then again here, this was already pre-assembled. I could not get it apart. There is the shoulder frame and then the actual mechanism frame. The shoulder frame originally is a separate part, as you can see right there. That does snap in over there. Then over here, you have his base stabilizers. This is the part that his support wire is going to attach to. The stakes that he comes with, that again are not very good. This is with every 12-foot prop from SVI. I will be discarding those and getting better ones. His adapter, then the cable tie with various screws and cotter pins inside. Let's get to his setup. The first thing that you're going to do is locate both sides of your base labeled A and B and snap lock those in the middle at the bottom and the top, and then that middle part is just going to slide together and create a kind of tight seal. Now we're going to start assembling the poles. Next, snap lock your C pole into the side of the base labeled B and your D pole labeled on the side of the base labeled A. Then you're going to slide on both of your hooves and then snap lock on both of your poles labeled F. This is going to bend out towards the back a little bit because of how this particular animal's legs are built. Next, go ahead and slide on over your leg foam, and now we're going to slide on over his pants. When sliding on over the pants, make sure you have the hole for the sensor facing out in the front. Next, grab those weird black pieces of kind of like a really thick felt cloth and slide those on over the poles. They are both the same letter and shape, so it's not gonna matter. They're kind of scrunched up right now because we have the pants down, but once the pants are up on the waist bracket, these are going to fill out the thighs of the prop. Next, go ahead and snap lock on the kind of just waist frame with the control box onto the leg poles, and now we're going to lay him down on top of his box. Next, attach the waist bracket, and now we're going to locate his sensor and run that down his leg and attach that to the hole that is on the front of his pants down over here. So that way, if you do use him on sensor, anybody walking by can trigger him. Next, locate the internal mechanism frame and snap lock that to the torso pole that is coming from the control box frame, and then plug in those wires and make sure you screw these on as tightly as possible. I did these just barely because it's going to get taken down right after this video, because he's not going to be set up in my backyard. He will be set up in my front yard for Halloween this year. And then afterwards, you are going to attach the shoulder frame, snap locking it in on this end down here and sliding it in on this end down over here. Next, slide his shirt on over the frame. For the sake of this video, we're gonna finish this on the ground, because as you can see in that last clip, he destroyed his box, and the impact on the ground also broke his waist bracket, which was nothing crucial. That just kind of fills out his body a little bit. But yeah, after that, put the shirt on over the frame. I'm gonna go throw that box inside the house before his plastic bags go flying everywhere. Next, feed the arms through the sleeves and secure those in with the included cotter pins. If I can get in here good enough to show you, right there, there's going to be little holes on both sides that the cotter pins are going to attach to. Next, once again, utilizing those cotter pins, attach both of his hands on both sides and snap those in with a cotter pin to ensure that they do not come out in any sort of high winds in your displays. Next, snap lock on his head and run down that white wire to the control box and plug that in and screw that in as tight as you can get to water seal it. Next, locate the back spine piece and attach that to the back portion of him. Once I get this on, I will show you where it attaches, because this is going to be much more difficult now that he destroyed his box and I do not have any tape to fix it up. This is where that spine piece is going to attach, and it's going to go all the way down the back of the shirt just to kind of give him some more shape. Next, locate this weird piece. It will not focus. It is focusing on the Wendigo laying on the ground. But this weird piece labeled V, and this is going to snap lock into his back. This is going to be what the support cable wraps into, similar to these skeletons at Home Depot. And that piece is going to snap in right above the label M under the spring-loaded mechanism. And next, go ahead and hook that support wire on both sides and run that up to the inside of him and attach it to that loop there. Now go ahead and resituate his clothing and Velcro him up, and then we're going to attach his antlers. Screw those antlers in, ensuring that they are properly attached like so, and screw them in through the pre-drilled holes on the sitting top parts of the antlers. Now our next step is going to be putting on the kind of fur cloth around his neck. After attaching that fur to all the Velcro points, go ahead and locate where you want the Wendigo to go, and then stand him up. And next, go ahead and put some weight on his base and his stabilizers. For the sake of where I have him for the video, I cannot get those other two stabilizers on because of the deck over here, so there is a very large and obvious cinder block. Again, for Halloween, we're definitely going to anchor him down a lot better than we have him for the video. But now, we are going to go ahead and plug him in and test him out. here he is, all set up and ready to go. It is pretty windy, and it is not being very nice to his waist fabric. It does seem pretty short around his waist, so I'm definitely going to add some Velcro strips down there to help hold that down. He is on sensor, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of move around in front of him and get him going. And he is actually pretty sturdy. I am really impressed with how this guy's stability is compared to Cackle's. He has several audio tracks, so I'm going to go ahead and go through 4 more, and then we will conclude the video with my overall review of this guy. Now let's take a look at him in the dark with some lighting. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the new for 2023 12-foot tall Wendigo from Party City. Wow, this guy looks so awesome. I definitely wish he wasn't so skinny around his waist, but overall, I think he's a really cool prop. He's certainly very scary. A lot scarier than a lot of the other 12-foots. He's up there in scary with Cackles. Party City certainly knows how to make these 12-foot characters scary. Home Depot has them more like child-friendly and such, and Lowe's is just going into their 12-foot game this year, really, with the Mummy returning and the 12-foot Scarecrow. But I really think that Party City has knocked it out of the park with the scary 12-foot tall giant animatronics. He looks amazing. His head movement is so fluid, so nice. He looks very detailed. I love the accent of the creep cloth and the vines going across his arms, the fur all around his neck and down towards his legs. His hooves look really nice. His audio is really scary and really loud. I really like how booming it is. And overall, he's just a really cool prop. For a $500 price tag, though, I'd say that it's pushing it. He is very, very cool and very, very stable. I know that like a lot of people think that some of these aren't that stable, but this guy, for being kind of standalone without all the plastic bones and such that like the Home Depot ones have, he is pretty sturdy. You see him standing in the wind I have him in right now. That's about 15-mile-an-hour winds, gusts up to 25, and he's standing really well. A lot of it is probably also because my home is blocking it, but still, even like pushing him around, he is not very wobbly. He is pretty sturdy. I will definitely still be stabilizing him a heck of a whole lot more than he is. I will be getting some ratchet straps and wrapping those around his middle pole and anchoring those directly down into the ground on all four sides of him, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, to really increase his stability. I'm overall very pleased with this guy. I do not like the use of the fork connectors in his arms and his hands. I guess it's fine because there's cotter pins, but I really would have preferred a snap lock. Just some higher quality materials and more sturdy materials for that, but there's not a whole lot to his arms. They're very lightweight, so I can see why they kind of cheaped out on that point, because there's really no point in making it all that extra sturdy if it's not like something huge and blow molded like the way Cackles was. So I think they did very well with this guy. Again, $500 is really pushing it. I got him for roughly about $390 with tax and everything. To me, I feel that $390 was worth it. $500 is definitely pushing it. Use that 15% off coupon and get him for about $425. Even $400 is worth it. He's a really cool one. And not to mention storage, his box is very small. I was really shocked at how tiny his box was. His box is very good for storage. It's not that much bigger than some of the animatronics you see at Home Depot, Spirit Halloween, and other retailers. I was really surprised by how tiny his box was. But I really like this guy. If you want to pay $500 for him, go pay $500 for him. That is up to you, what you want to do with your money. I personally probably would have still ended up doing that with the coupon and our military discounts, because we probably would have gotten him for about the same as we got him with this display discount. But I am very pleased with this guy. I think he is very imposing and scary, and I am really excited to use him this season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe.